The U.S. state of Oklahoma has approved one of the most restrictive abortion bans in American history. The legalization prohibits abortion from the moment of fertilization and relies on lawsuits from private citizens to enforce it, which means abortions at any stage of pregnancy are banned. There are exceptions, like medical emergencies and sexual assault. Oklahoma's House of Representatives passed the vote by 73 votes to 16, and it'll come into effect right after the governor signs it.
It would be much more humane to
the core of this whole discussion is the protection of innocent life. We can get diverted with so many other things that in and of themselves may be valid for discussion. But there can be nothing higher or more critical than the defense of innocent, unborn life. It is wrong to kill somebody. Emotion, hate, judgmental. I don't know about you, but I'm glad, Madam Speaker, that we have laws against murder. Should we wipe away our laws against murder? And if somebody murders somebody else, we'll say, well, you know, maybe you should have done that, but we don't want to do anything further because we don't want to be hateful. We don't want to be emotional. We don't want to be judgmental. No, an innocent life deserves protection.
Well, according to opinion polls, Americans are in favour of abortion access. However, surveys also show public support for the ban. The top court, the Supreme Court, is expected to pronounce its decision by the end of June this year. US Vice President Kamala Harris has slammed Oklahoma's anti-abortion bill, which was passed less than an hour before she met with abortion providers on Thursday.
It's outrageous, and it's just the latest in a series of extreme laws around the country. Several of the medical professionals joining us today are seeing the impact of these laws that are designed to punish and control women.
Well, we're back now with our reporter Susan Tarani, who's joining us once again live from New York City. Susan, look, abortion rights, it's such a contentious, I guess, divisive issue in the United States. What do you think we can make of this latest ruling and where abortion rights may be heading?
Yeah, such a polarizing issue indeed, and it really comes at a time when the Supreme Court really will make a decision ultimately at the end of June, beginning of July, whether or not to hand the decision making to these states. But you really do see how much there is an appetite, at least for red states, to go ahead with what was really how historically the laws and regulations in the United States were, and that was that the elected government of each state would make abortion laws. And, you know, these are states that are arguing that we should go back to the way things were, where the people elect their representatives, and those representatives, state by state, basically make these laws. And, you know, as polarizing as it is, these are states that, for the majority, when you poll them state by state, the people, even the women, for the most part, agree with those laws, but then you have the majority of blue states that don't. So it is going to be a very polarizing issue. It is something that's very highly personal for the majority of the American people. And then you also have, you know, those laws that will kick into place if the Supreme Court goes ahead and overturns Roe v. Wade, where you know, there's sort of somewhat of a snapback law where automatically, you know, abortion will be banned, which with some limits. But, you know, you see how throughout the years how the issue of abortion has become so politicized and so extreme on both sides, at least on Capitol Hill and on the media. But then when Americans are polled it's important to note that the majority of Americans are somewhat in the middle of the spectrum. They're not so much to the extreme to the left and so much to the extreme to the right that we're seeing right now. And Oklahoma might be, too much to the right of the case that we're witnessing.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks for all your time this morning on those two stories. Susan Tarani joining us live from New York City.